And share this. You can take it away, Emmy.
All right, awesome. Welcome you guys to our team call. I am super fangirling out for our speaker tonight. She's like the first coach who I ever stalked super hard on YouTube and watched all of her videos. But before, okay, question, sorry, before I launch into this. Are we doing this whole thing or are we just doing recognition?
We're going to do the whole thing.
Oh, okay. Sorry,
Yeah.
I did not get that memo. So before we jump in, we're going to go over what we go over at the start of all of our calls for if you're a newer coach or you are back and you just need a refresher kind of what we do. These are just an overview of the vitals. This will, if you've heard this before, you're just going to have to sit tight and I will get through it as quick as possible. But just as a refresher, the first thing we all do is we commit to a program. We get results. We're proof of the product. And that's essential whether you've been around for years or it's your first week. So that means doing a program start to finish, drinking your shakes, and then helping other people get results. And by the way to do that is we're going to connect with people, we're going to invite, we're going to reach out, basically just ask people, you know, hey, here's this thing I'm doing. Would it benefit you? Would you like to join me in doing it? And then we're always doing personal development because that is really the foundation, making sure your mindset's right. And those are the vital behaviors in like a super, super quick nutshell. And by doing those things, we're going to all hit Success Club 6. 6 is the minimum, but you should definitely be striving for more than the bare minimum. And this just means you're doing what you came in to do, which is help people. That's why we're all here. We want to help people. We also want to earn income for ourselves. And that is how you accomplish both of those things. And when you hit Success Club 6 minimum for your first 3 months as a new coach, you earn a ticket for free to Summit, which is our big yearly event. And I think this is actually, in this case, you would be earning a free ticket. Let's say it's your first month and you hit Success Club March, April, May. I'm pretty sure you will earn your free ticket to 2020's Summit, not 2019. Either way, it's the place you want to be if you're serious about your business. It's so fun. It's a giant convention, workout in the streets. You meet all the super trainers. We all get Airbnbs and hang out together, and you will have mad FOMO if you're not there. But even without that incentive, hitting Success Club is just what we do. And if you're brand new, you want to make sure that you complete your Start Strong checklist, which is something that your coach will have sent you when you sign up. It's very simple, self-paced training. And then the next step after that is you hop on a one-on-one call so that we can get you a game plan. And then also just make sure you're on these calls every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern time. And then you just duplicate that because that's what this whole business is. You're going to take everything that you learned and you're going to help other people on your team do the exact same thing, and help your clients get results as well. Okay, so just to do a little bit of recognition for where we're at right now. With Success Club 10 Plus, we have myself and Carolyn, both with Success Club 12. In the Success Club 5 and up crowd, we have Natalie Balsamo. I never say the name, so I'm really sorry. I know I'm going to say everybody's name wrong. Brittany Chasmar and Sarah Jennings. With Success Club 4, we have Valeria Hernandez, Cameron Walker, Kayla Spray, Chelsea Wisbar, and Allison Spaeth. And then with Success Club 2, we have Alexa Vrink, Amber Salmon, Megan Scott, Angela Edwards, Sammy Glowout. Oh, I know I'm going to mess that up. Glowacki, Karina. This is bad, you guys. Karina De Batista, I'm so sorry, and Rebecca Connolly. And we have changed as a whole 39 lives already, and March is nowhere near over. And then as far as tribe builders to recognize, the top 3 tribe builders who are growing their teams this month are Sarah, Natalie, and myself. And this is the number of coaches that each of us have added to our teams this month. With 2 coaches each, we have myself, Sarah Jennings, and Natalie. And then all of these coaches have added 1 coach to their team: Alexa Vrink, Kayla Spray, Megan Scott, Angela Edwards, Carolyn Bronkowski, Amber Salmon, I am assuming Carolyn's second business center, Valeria Hernandez, and Cameron Walker. So that means we have 15 new teammates already.
Yeah, I guess that puts me at 2. Oh, well.
Yeah.
Whoops.
All right, and then to recognize PV producers, personal volume, the top PV coach is Carolyn with 1,860. And then do you read all these individually? I can't even remember if you normally read them.
I just say 1,000 Club and I list them. Yeah.
All right, I was like, that's a lot of numbers. In the 1,000 Club, we have Carolyn, Natalie, Carolyn's Second Business Center, myself, and Lauren Avon. In the 700 Club, we have Valeria Hernandez, Sammy Glowacki, and Randy Blender. And then in the 500 Club, we have Jennifer Blight, Robin Robillard, Karina DiBattista, Rebecca Connolly, Kristi Kako, Lindsay Hall. And in the 300 Club, we have Madeline Burt, Allison Spaeth, Jessica Wagers, My Second Business Center, Angela Edwards, Chelsea Wisbar, Tara Rudder, Victoria Godber, Jen Bond, Janessa Farrer, and Brianna Snyder. So awesome job to all of those coaches. Oh. And then I don't want to say her name wrong.
Huh?
Do you want to say this one because you can shout her out for specific things?
Is Natalie on the call?
Or Natalie?
Do you want to do it? You want to have the honors?
You are muted.
I'm trying to unmute you, but I think you are at the same time, so you just do it. You're muted. It's not letting me unmute you. Okay, well, I guess I'll just do it because I can't get you to speak. So our coach of the week is Allison Spaeth. She has been, first of all, look at her transformation. That's amazing. Incredible transformation. She's being proof of the product 100%. And she also has been showing up consistently in her business. She's on the Success Club board this month. She is making a comeback for herself, helping a lot of people, having a lot of fun doing it. And that's the most important thing about this business, is having fun while you are changing lives. So congratulations to you. Super duper proud of you, and keep up the great work. I'm sure Natalie would have said all of those amazing things too. I just don't know why I can't unmute you for some reason. All right, go ahead, Emmy.
Okay, and then a couple last really quick announcements. If you don't know, Summit tickets are still on sale. Are they $145 still? Does anybody actually know the price right now? Anyway.
I think it's $165. $160? And that's just March, April, May. Sorry.
Okay. No worries. So yeah, you definitely want to go ahead and get yourself a Summit ticket. If you're new and you haven't gotten one, don't think that this is like not for you. You definitely want to be there. Having been someone who did not go there first year, it really sucks to sit at home and have to watch it going down. And Rachel Hollis is the keynote speaker this year. She wrote Girl Wash Your Face. She's like everywhere. And she's going to be speaking to us. So it's going to be amazing. There's lots of parties, there's lots of conferences all day and seminars, and you learn a ton. And it's definitely something where you're going to earn back the price of your ticket. I guarantee you, just from like coaches you sign up while you're there. That's happened to me every year that I've been. So just make sure to go ahead and snag that ticket and not wait, because they do sell out. And then in addition to Summit, doing all the things we already talked about is going to earn you a lot of free travel. A bunch of us are leaving on Saturday for a cruise that we earned. And that is because of us hitting Success Club every month, which is something that you can literally start doing right now. If you've never done it, if you're brand new, if you've done it and you've kind of fallen off, just start hitting Success Club. You're going to earn yourself spots at all of these trips. We have diamond retreats for the diamonds and up on our team that we put on personally. And then the Success Club trips like the cruise. Next year, we're going to Punta Cana. You all want to make sure you've opted in to be invited to that. And then also hitting Success Club gets you just tons of recognition at things like Summit. You get to sit on the floor. You get all these special seats. You get a lot of recognition. It feels really good. And also there's things like the New Leader Conference, which is for 1-star diamonds and up. And also the Elite Leadership Retreat, which is for 5 stars and up. And you also get to bring a guest. And having been a guest of Carolyn's at this was like the best Beachbody event that I've ever been to. It's really small and intimate, and you just learn so much. So basically, if travel is one of the reasons you got into this, you earn all of these opportunities by doing the basics and hitting Success Club, if you needed any more reason to.
All righty. Well, that brings us to our guest speaker, who I am super stoked that you are here. And how cute is her dog? I had to use this picture. We have a lot of dog moms on our team, so I figured they would enjoy that one. But we are really happy to have you here. Our guest speaker tonight, if you haven't figured it out, is Miss Kristi Kronser. She's been a coach for a while if she's hit Success Club 10, 96 months in a row. I remember when I started, she was one of the coaches that I looked up to as well. And she's just so giving and always sharing everything that she has learned along her journey on YouTube or on Facebook. She's just such a giving person. And even being a part of the roundtable, which is where we really connected, I was like, dude, we want to get you on this call. You have so much value to share, and I'm really excited that she's here with us tonight. She is going to be talking about leveraging a spouse account, creating the most, like, a greater income for you and your team, how to grow your team and really do so in a strategic way. And a couple of stats about Miss Kristi is she is a 7-time elite coach, which means her team has earned elite status 7 times. She is a superstar diamond, which is the highest rank that you can achieve in this company in her first business center. She is 5-star, 3-star, 2-star, and diamond. You said hopefully by the call. Yes. Okay. And diamond in 4 other CBCs. So she's got 5 or probably more counting your husband. I guess we'll get into that. In her other business centers. And she is, like I said, she hit Success Club 96 months in a row. So when we tell you to hit Success Club and we tell you to create success, we are not lying. She is also a Million Club member, which means that she has earned a cumulative, that's such a hard word to say, cumulative earnings of $1 million in her business. So with all of that, I'm going to pass it over to you. Thank you for being here. We're so grateful to have you, and we cannot wait to hear what you have to share.
Thank you. So first off, any questions that you guys have, if you could just type them into the chat. If there's anything that you want to know, anything that you're struggling with in your business, what I like to do is really make sure that the call is getting things answered that are going to help you move your business forward. So any questions that come to mind, just like type them over there. So I'm going to start out. Yeah, she said all those things. It sounds really cool. I want to just take me off that pedestal so that you guys understand everything that I've done, you can do too. I'm not special. I'm not creative. I'm not an influencer. I am not someone who goes viral on social media. Like, I am not anything special. Basically, I was very blessed that as a child, this sounds weird to start it this way, but my dad and my grandparents beat my mom up in front of us. And when they did that, my parents divorced, and I don't know if it had been going on for years. I have no idea. Like, we've never really talked about that. But we lost everything. My dad didn't want to have to pay my mom child support, so he sold everything. We actually were really wealthy. He sold everything. He sold his business. He moved out of state, and he left us, and we moved into low-income apartments, and we lost everything. My mom was a stay-at-home mom. She had to go back to work. And I had no idea at the time, but this was the biggest blessing in my life. One night, I remember I came home and I asked my mom for $5 for a soccer tournament. We were on like the low income lunch plan. So lunch was only 39 cents. And I asked her for $5 for the soccer tournament because I needed to play in it if I was going to be able to start for the club team. Like, they were even, it didn't matter how good you were, you had to show up to all these games. And my mom goes, Kristi, I don't have $5 for the soccer tournament. And I remember through our little thin walls, her crying herself to sleep that night. And I never asked for money for anything again. Like, my 8th grade trip, I babysat. I did everything to come up with the money to go because I didn't want her to think that she wasn't enough. But that moment, had no idea it was going to be life-changing years later. So fast forward to college. I put myself through college, got myself in debt to do that. And this I had on 30% of my body weight in 2 months. I had become severely depressed. I had become suicidal. I basically just spent my days trying to end my life. I went from being a 4.0 student to not even going to class because I couldn't get myself out of bed. And this was also another pivotal moment when I went to counseling. They said it was because everything that happened as a child, I always saw the silver lining, so I never really dealt with it. And that had come up. But another pivotal moment sent me towards fitness and nutrition. I didn't want to be on medication. It made me feel numb. No worries if you are. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. Just for me personally, my husband's on anxiety meds, so I have no problem with it, but I just didn't want to take it. Growing up, my parents never took any medication, and we were all very, I guess you could say, holistic nowadays, but I'm not like, I'm not super holistic. It's just I really want to get, high quality vitamins and minerals, that kind of stuff in my body. And so I started doing research on fitness and nutrition and what that meant, and I did everything wrong before I did it right. I tried to starve myself, then I would binge on food. I over-exercised. I did everything you shouldn't do. I had no idea, but it led me to finding my actual fitness lifestyle. So I had a friend come and get me out of bed to get me to start working out. So if you follow me now, I'm really fit, and a lot of times people are like, oh, it's so easy for you. And it is, but it wasn't always. When I got started in fitness, it was my introduction was to do a sprint triathlon. So no workouts, let's get you in a sprint triathlon. I was dead last out of the water. An 80-year-old beat me. Training for this thing, I cried on pretty much every workout. 2 laps in the swimming pool was my entire workout. 1 mile on the track, entire workout. Like, we're talking 10 minutes was the max. I was just not in shape. I just had never worked out. But I kept going. And that really set me up for success in this business years before I ever found it. I started in finance. That was my degree. I was a financial advisor. I was finding myself just going through the motions, and everything that I had gone through led me up to know that, to have enough confidence to know that I could figure it out. Believe in your ability to figure it out. And so I searched for this opportunity for 5 years. And I will tell you, one, don't keep this opportunity in your mouth, because I would have been the last person that somebody would have invited. I had a great job in finance, looked like I was doing great. I was an Ironman triathlete by this point, doing 100-mile bike rides and marathon runs and just crazy stuff. You would have thought, oh, she doesn't need this. But my coach invited me, and she invited me of like, hey, you could help other people with fitness and earn some extra income. And I'm like, people ask me about fitness all the time. There's no way I can tell them to go do an Ironman, because that is just not realistic. Nobody wants to work out for 20 hours a week except for me. And so I found the opportunity, and I said yes immediately. I wasn't someone that had to think about it. I've never had to think about things. And I actually heard something this weekend at Brennan Burchard's High Performance Academy, and he said billionaires don't overthink. If it makes sense for their goals and in alignment with their values, they just say yes. And that was me. I just said yes. And I dove in. I didn't know how. I didn't know what I was going to do. My first month as a coach, I earned $70. Not that exciting, but I was so excited. And that's something that I really hope you guys can take away from this, is have gratitude wherever you are in this business. If you haven't earned a dime, or you've earned $1,000 or $10,000 or whatever that is, have gratitude for where you're at, because if you don't have gratitude for where you're at right now, you honestly don't deserve more. And I know that's really harsh, but so many people are so ungrateful for what they have. Like, why would the universe give you more? I was so grateful for that $70. And my second month as a coach, I earned $800. Beachbody does not guarantee any level of success or income. And in that month, I did something that I didn't even know. My coach disappeared on week 2, so I had no idea what I was doing. I showed up to a team call like this from people that were like way up in the upline. At least she gave me access to the team call. And I signed up my husband only because I wanted to get to Diamond. So back then, if you got to Diamond in 90 days, and if you started later on in the year, you could get onto the cruise. And it was, I think it was Atlantis was where we went, which is actually where the cruise is going, which is kind of funny. So I wanted that trip. I wanted to go Diamond in 90 days so that I could earn that trip. And my training was very limited. It was this is Emerald, 2 active coaches. This is Diamond, 8 active coaches, an Emerald on each leg. Don't puke on people. That was one of the trainings. And how to earn income. That was it. There wasn't an inviting training. There weren't challenge groups. There wasn't anything more than that. And so I just started talking to everyone. But I realized I had this like fire and this drive to build this business. And some people were just going to work on their fitness goals and not build the business. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. but I wanted to grow faster. I wanted to earn an income faster. So I signed my husband up, and I built him to Emerald so that I could get to Diamond faster so that I could get this trip. I had no idea in that moment that I was going to increase our income by 6 figures a year by signing him up early on. No idea. Nobody told me that. So I'm telling you right now, if you haven't signed up your spouse, do it, because literally I did it just for the trip. I had no idea about strategy. I had no idea about how this income works. I didn't understand team cycle bonuses. I just wanted all the opportunities that they gave me. I wanted the trips. I wanted the customers from the company. Anything that they said would grow my income, I'm like, all in. Please help me get out of my job yesterday. I started this just to pay some student loans, and then heard that you could leave your job. And I was like, well, if they can do it, I can do it. Heck, even if I take double the time they do, like, I looked at this business as this. Who has a bachelor's degree? It's okay if you don't, but who does? Okay, a few of you. So I think about half of you. So it took 4 years for me to get my bachelor's degree. 4 years. 4 years of me going into a debt, $100,000. For my 5th year, for me to get out of school and make $30,000 a year in my said area of expertise, I guess, right? So 5 years, $100,000 in debt, $30,000 just to pay the bills. I deferred the student loans the first year, so I'm still $100,000 in debt. So if I can give a degree 5 years for a piece of paper because society says it's normal, and I invested $140 to get this business started, and I invest $140, why wouldn't I give my dreams the same focus, time, and effort that I gave my college degree? Because I knew that even if I didn't earn a dime the first year, if I gave it all I had and everybody told me no, and I kept showing up until I figured it out, until I learned how to sign a customer, until I learned how to sign a coach, until I learned how to get to Diamond, that there's no way that I would be worse off than I was with my college degree. And I learned a heck of a lot in the process. I will tell you, by year 5, I had hit Millions Club, and I wasn't in debt. And so that is the type of all-in attitude I went in with, not knowing any of the strategy. So it doesn't matter if you don't understand team cycle bonuses, if you don't understand how all of it works, go out there, get results, use the products, get results, be proof, prove the concept, prove that these systems work, talk to people, share your story with people, and demonstrate that they can do what you do. It really is that simple, like, without overcomplicating it with all the strategies. So I signed my husband up just for this cruise, right? And I didn't build him past Emerald for, I don't know, until I decided I need to get to 5-star, and I need to build him to Diamond so I could get to 5-star and not have to wait on someone else. And he, to this day, is only a 1-star Diamond coach, but he earns 6 figures because I realized that, as I open these secondary coach business centers, so once you get to 2-star Diamond, you can open a second business center. I believe Carolyn did, right? You have a second business center. So I put that second business center on my husband's weak leg. This is very high level. Don't worry if you don't understand it. So as I'm building, like, because I signed him up early, he has an entire team underneath him. One of the coaches in my downline is number 13 in the company right now. She's under him. One of my other coaches earns like $400,000 a year. She's under him. So I had no idea. I didn't know the vision of this. Nobody had told me that. But I'm so glad I had a trip, because that's exactly why I signed him up. And I look at his paycheck every week and I'm like, I didn't work any harder for that. I really didn't work any harder. It was just that I went after a goal that the company set forward for me. Sorry, I was looking to see if there were any questions. If you guys have questions, comment in there. Okay, so something I said a little bit earlier was use, talk, demonstrate. And I want to, how long have you guys been coaches? Type that in the chat for me, just to give an idea of where everybody's at in their business. So use, talk, demonstrate. And the reason I want to share this is because it's kind of like basketball. I don't play basketball, but it's really easy to understand. the three things that you need to know how to do in basketball are dribble, pass, and shoot, right? Dribble, pass, shoot. When you start out, you're really bad and you dribble with two hands, and when you pass, half the time it doesn't go to the person, you shoot and you miss the basket. But dribble, pass, shoot, you just keep practicing it. Kobe didn't have some crazy secret. He just practiced and perfected his skill for longer, so he had more expertise and experience than everyone around him, right? And so that's what this business is when I say use, talk, demonstrate. I am not any better than you. I don't have some secret, but I use the programs, I share my story, and I demonstrate to other people that they can do this too. And in doing that, day after day, week after week, month after month, it will be my 8-year coach anniversary on April 1st. And when I talk, it looks really cool because you're like, oh, she has these stories. Oh, she's hit Millions Club, all these accolades. But it's just that I've been doing it consistently longer, and that when struggles come my way, I have a better mindset towards them. That's the only difference. And so I wanted to share this with you guys because this was really eye-opening for me. Let me see if I can find it here. Who lacks motivation towards your goals some days? Be honest. It's okay. I do too. It's all right. Okay, so I basically have been able to learn generate motivation every single day for my goals. And a lot of it comes down to mindset. I wanted to share this with you guys because I think it will be a game changer for you. It's really been a game changer for me. I've had a lot of struggles in this business. I hit 5-star diamond to fall on the last, so it's a 6-week qualification when you go to Star Diamond. And on the very last day of the qualifications, I fell all the way back, I fell down to 4-star diamond. I had just left my full-time job. I needed that quarterly bonus. And after that week, I fell all the way back down to 1-star. And it took me a whole nother year to get back to 5-star. I got to 15-star to fall to 8-star. To have to work back up to 10-star. I'm not even back up to 15-star, right? And so there's all these struggles that come my way. I had people leave my team and create negativity and send crazy things to corporate, 3,000 screenshots of negative messages about me. Anything you want to come up with, I've gone through it. But the thing that has helped me grow my business with so much heart and so much culture is that through each of these struggles, I've allowed them to be learning lessons instead of allowing them to derail me and stop me. So I'm always, remember earlier how I said it took me 5 years to find this coach opportunity. It took me 5 years to find the solution. This business allows me to live out my purpose every single day. And so if there's a struggle, I'm just going to look at it and sit back, do a bird's eye view and say, okay, here's this struggle. If somebody else were having this struggle, how would I respond to them? How would my best self respond to this struggle? What would the solution be for me? So here's what I do when it comes to generating motivation during hard times when you're not feeling it, all those things. Cause I don't always feel it. I'm human too. So I don't always feel it, but here's how I generate motivation. It really is through our habits. You know how when we get started in fitness, it's really hard to show up and do the workouts. And then over time, as you do it, even when you don't feel like it, you gain confidence and then it becomes easier. So motivation is the very, very much the same way. And it's learning how to master your mindset. It's learning mastery of self. And if anything, this has changed my world. So I'm going to share it with you guys. So what motivates us? First, there's 6 things. The first one is ambition. And ambition is allowing yourself to want more for life. And this was a big one for some of my coaches that were doing the right activities. They were earning Success Club. They were signing new coaches and customers, but their business wasn't growing as quickly as they wanted it to. They weren't getting to, their diamond, not getting to the Star Diamond ranks. And when I had this conversation of these 6 things with them, this was the thing. They were not allowing themselves to want more. They almost looked at it as a guilt thing. I can't want more for my life because that makes me a bad person. Or I can't be grateful for what I have right now and want more, which you can. You can have so much gratitude with where you're at and how far you've come and still want more for your life. And for me, as I accomplished goals in this business, this was something that derailed my motivation because I wasn't clear on my ambitions for the next level. And when it derailed me, because I didn't know this information, it took me a year of fighting to figure out what my next ambition level was to gain. Like, I showed up every day in my business. I hit Success Club. I was there for my team. I poured into them. I had some motivating days and some really sucky, awful days. And sometimes I was just going through the motions, but I kept searching for that solution. And when it hit me, when ambition hit me, I was like, dude, you are not clear on what that next level looks like for you. You are not clear on what that next level looks like for your team. Get your shit together. Number 2, expectancy. Like, expecting and believing that it can happen. I didn't get to 15-star by just saying, yeah, someday I'll be a 15-star. I had 15-star written down as a goal the first year I was a coach. Month 2, when I hit diamond, it was like, goals, earn $200,000, goal, become a 15-star diamond coach. I believed those things were possible. 100% believed they were possible. 15-star guys took me 5 years longer than I expected. It took me till the 5th year to get there, but it was a goal and I believed it was possible and I believed it was going to happen every single year, even when it didn't. You have to believe in your ability to figure it out. We can learn and grow into anything. And if you go back to that ambition, if you don't believe that there's a clear next level, like, I know that whatever goal I have to grow into the person that deserves that goal. Like, I set that goal so that it pushes me to grow into a better version of myself. Step 3, or number 3, attention to your goals. And this is, or attention to your ambitions. And what I mean by that is, it's really easy to start going through the motions and just doing the habitual stuff that you have for the day. Get up, take the kids to school, change diapers, whatever that is, and not have attention to the dream. And so something that I had to start doing every morning so that I could bring that fire and bring that motivation is every morning writing out my goals and dreams and feeling them and what that means to me, what fears come up. What I call it fear flipping, or flipping my fears. So anytime I write down my dreams, what are fears that come up and how can I look at them differently? Really learning how to master your mind, because as soon as that doubt, like when I said 15-star, if you're like, yeah, but she doesn't know me, I can't do that. I'm not as insert whatever crap you're telling yourself in your head right now. That's a fear. So don't just let it sit there. Like, write that out and be like, okay, now what are the opposites of that? Why is it possible for me? If you have fears, type them in the chat. I will give you the exact perspective you need to flip those fears. And then write down 3 bold actions that you're going to take that day. Doesn't mean that you have to be perfect. My action is never perfect, but I show up every day to post on social media, to connect with people, to invite people. And I show up more on a weekly basis. Like, how many invites do I want to get out for the week? How many new people do I want to connect with? How many people do I want to follow up with? And make sure that that matches my goal. Like, if, I didn't get to 15-star diamond by inviting 3 people a day, just putting it out there. Like, I had to invite 150 people a week for 5 years for me to get to 15-star diamond. But that's because I wanted to grow faster. Could you do half that and get there in 10 years? Yes, totally. It's really what your action needs to match your goals. But you have to give those goals and dreams attention, because if you don't, they will slip, they will go on the back burner. And if you are not clear on what you want, the universe has no idea what to give you. If you are not clear on what you want, the universe has no idea what to give you. If you are constantly distracted, scrolling through social media, avoiding the work, the universe has no idea what you want. Number 4, effort, consistent effort. We all know that, but are you doing it? So if you wrote down, like, inviting, connecting and having conversations with new people, following up with people, posting to social, doing your workouts, drinking your shake, doing your personal development, and you rated yourself on a scale of 1 to 10 over the last 90 days, would you give yourself a 10? If not, no worries. Don't beat yourself up about it. You know where to improve your consistent effort to create that motivation. Because when you are consistently showing up, you build confidence, and that motivation is so much easier to keep. But really what makes the difference is two more things. Attitude, your attitude. I want to give you guys an example of attitude so I can share with you how to level up your energy, to level up your motivation. It's really intentional, and I never thought about working on my mindset this way. But when I walk into a room, like when I walk into a doorway or I jump on a Zoom, before I do that, I actually talk to myself, like, how am I going to level up the energy in this room? How am I going to walk into this room? And if the room is on a scale of 1 to 10, the energy level is a 6, how am I going to get everybody to a 7? If I'm having a bad day and I don't feel well, how can I sit here and get my energy level up to a 7 or 8? How do I level up my own energy? Attitude is the same way. I did a training today for some 6 to 8 star diamonds in Beachbody, and one of them said, like, well, my coaches are yo-yoing between, like, you know, whatever, 1 star and diamond or diamond and emerald, and they're not building solid, and they have negative energy, and they don't want to, like, I don't even know what to tell them because they just keep dropping. And she was dropping in rank too. She was going up to 6 star and down to 1 star. And I said, well, role model the attitude that you want them to have. She was role modeling the exact attitude that her team had. If you want your team to have a better attitude, you have a better attitude. If you want to bring positive energy to this world, you be that person. You be the change. Like, your attitude is so important. And when your way or your way or fear comes your way, that is there to help you. If you remember at the beginning, I said, watching my mom be beaten changed my life. Going through a suicidal depression changed my life. Those things were there to help me. And at the time, I didn't understand that or know that because I was very young. And at that time, we just don't have the mental capability to have all that knowledge and to be at that maturity level. But we're mature adults now. And so we have to work on that mental capacity, that attitude that we're bringing to the world. When you have a struggle, that struggle can be the most powerful thing to change your business if you use it. So I'm doing this 14-day challenge, and the challenge is to go live every single day for 14 days. It's a marketing challenge, and people are already complaining, oh, you know, blah, 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 this is happening in my life, I can't do it today. And this lady went live in her hospital room. I don't know what happened. She went into She went into the ER for surgery, and she did a live video to stay on with the challenge. How many people are inspired by that? Think about it, right? Right? We're not inspired by people when they're just getting success easily. We're inspired by people who show up when it's hard. So that struggle that you're being given is there to help you, not to hurt you. But unsuccessful people see the struggle and give up. Unsuccessful people see the struggle and stop. Successful people, and you can choose to be successful, see the struggle and immediately ask themselves, how can I have a better attitude towards this? What is the solution here? How can I find the solution as fast as possible so I can get through it? And then I'm going to turn around and be able to teach other people. Like, your struggles are there to help you and to help you have a bigger impact on this world. But it depends on the attitude that you bring. Number 6 is your environment. We're really lucky. We're coaches. We have an incredible environment. But what I would say as far as environment goes is really lean into your team. Like, if you're struggling, don't retreat. Because if you struggle and you're retreating, you're living what's called the caged life. You start resenting other people that are showing up when it's hard. You start saying, well, they don't understand. And I know right away if you're living a caged life, because you will say they don't understand. There's 7 billion people in this world. You are not the only person that struggles with it. And I can tell you that if you were to come to me and tell me your struggle, I could name 10 people that have the same struggle and be like, they've dealt with it and this is what they've done to overcome. And that's another really powerful thing is in your environment, listen to other people's stories, because those stories are going to allow you to have a bigger impact. And there we go. Questions. Okay. So what are my current best practices for finding and developing business builders? 1, be the business builder. your team is going to do about 50% of what you do. If you want your team to build, you have to be the business builder. So how do you do that? Invite to the coach opportunity. Are you inviting to coaching, or are you just inviting to challenge groups? You can just invite to challenge groups, that's fine, but then are you inviting your challengers to become coaches? Are you signing up new coaches every month so you can lead the way to become that business builder? Are you posting to social media, sharing what coaching has done for you? Not just talking about the fitness programs and the results that those are getting you, but sharing your coaching journey. I share my coaching journey more than my fitness journey. And that's why I attract people that are wanting to earn an income in fitness or earn an income online, because that's the story that I'm telling. Those are the types of people I want to attract. So posting to social media about coaching is a big one. Am I running more than one coaching group a month? I don't run coaching groups. So here's what I do. I do it very differently. I have always used an opportunity webinar. And when I got started, it was Doug Fitzgerald, who's a founding coach. It was his webinar. And I get into conversations. Like I got into a conversation today with a girl. I did an Insta story because I'm doing a 3-day refresh. So I was sharing my 3-day refresh. And she goes, "Looking great, girl," or something like that. It was like, "Oh, thank you so much. Oh my gosh." And because when someone sends you a message on Facebook, it shows you like where they work and where they live and all that kind of stuff in the message. So I was like, "I see that you work at Squaw Valley. Oh my gosh, such a small world. Do you still work there?" Like, "I live in Tahoe." I said, "Well, not really full-time live in Tahoe. I live there June, July, August, and September. Are you still in the area?" And she goes, "No, like I don't work there anymore. Like I'm a stay-at-home mom. We moved to Alaska. But I used to do yoga, and I love yoga. Like that's just my thing." And said something about like it was really hard to get a job. That's all I had to do was talk about her job. And she told me it was really hard to get a job and have kids. I was like, "Oh my gosh, girl, have you ever considered doing what I do and earning income from home?" That's it. "Have you ever considered doing what I do and earning income from home?" And she's like, "Oh, is it Beachbody?" And I was like, "Yeah." And she goes, "Oh, well, I've thought about it, but I do yoga. Like I can't do the programs you do. Like it's really cool that you do them, but I do yoga." I was like, "Girl, we have yoga programs." And she goes, "Well, what did she say? I don't think people need to invest to get fit." Because she said she had taught yoga. And I was like, "Totally get it. I completely agree. There's tons of free resources out there, but our society is still obese and overweight, and it's not getting better." And I said, when I got started in fitness, I had to invest in a gym. I invested in running shoes. Like no matter what, I had to make some type of investment in my health. I was like, I'm sure you probably invested in yoga classes. And I said, really why people aren't getting results is because they don't have a community. Did you want me to send you some more info? And she goes, yeah, send me some info. I was like, okay, awesome. Here's an audio I recorded. I'll follow up with you tomorrow. And I'll follow up with her tomorrow, and then I'll get her on a call. So what I do is I say, have you ever considered doing what I do? Have you ever considered earning an extra income from home? Have you ever considered working on your fitness goals and helping others? Have you ever considered getting fit and earning some extra income? However you want to word it, whatever is your language, have you ever considered? And then when they say, what is it? Or I haven't, or I've thought about it, I say, if I send you an audio, could you listen to it today and we could schedule a time to talk tomorrow? If I sent you an audio, could you listen to it and we could schedule a time to talk tomorrow? It's Eric Worre, Go Pro. I used all his stuff when I got started as a coach. So once I got 4 years into it, I recorded my own What is Coaching audio. So I have that audio so coaches can send it. But what I found was Coach Sneak Peeks, I did them for 2 years. I signed 10 to 15 coaches a month. Usually the last couple months it's been 8 to 10 coaches a month or 8 to 12. But I never signed more than 5 people in a year in a Coach Sneak Peek. So do they work? Yeah. Do they work for me? No. And that's one thing in this business you have to understand is that it's inviting. It's connecting with people, sharing your story, inviting them, opening up a conversation and asking if they're open to try something new. You are not there to convince them. I do not try to convince people, but if they're open, I'm going to send them information because I told her at the end, I was like, here's an audio, might not be for you, sounds like it might not be, but this has changed my life and I'd be doing a disservice if I didn't allow you at least to take a look at it to see if it'd change yours. Right? And so that's how I reach out to them. Oh yeah, so many objections in there that most people have been thrown by. It's really just having the confidence to know I'm not pushing them. I am challenging them to think differently. Guys, I wasn't always this way. It was just constant personal development and really growing my mindset and showing up to trainings and learning little pieces from other people. But what I realized is a lot of my coaches were still afraid to reach out and invite that way. So what I did was we have a What is Coaching Zoom that I do every other week. And the week before the Zoom, so like this week is a fast start training. It's a 30-minute training where I literally say, make a list, go tell people your story and invite them to our next opportunity webinar. And then the following week, I also have a little action post on our team page so that they can drop down like, created my 100 list, invited 10 people, got 5 no's, and they get an entry into a $25 gift card drawing that I do. I just started doing this a week ago. We've only gone one fast start training, what is coaching webinar or Zoom, and almost every single person that came to the Zoom signed on as a coach. And what I did was there's a PowerPoint presentation in the coach office. It's What is Coaching, like PowerPoint presentation. You can Google it in FAQs. I created my own because it's kind of ugly, but I used the same outline. And then I used the PowerPoint that has like the talking points. And I used that and put my own story to it. And then at the end, I opened it up to allow coaches that were on to share their story and experience about the community. Because that's where most people are missing. And I told this girl today in that message was most people are not getting results because they don't have the community of support that they need to level up. Like the only reason I'm at the level I am is because I have a team of people that are leveling up with me because I invest in personal development and things to help me level up. I have a mentor to help me level up. And people need that and they don't have that. They're around a community and society that is constantly telling them their goals aren't possible, dreams aren't possible, like stay stuck, stay broke, stay unhealthy, eat that pizza. I love pizza. I'm not saying don't eat the pizza, but like they're just telling everybody to eat crap every single day. You know, when they want to eat a salad, they're like, why are you eating the salad? I'm like, give me the damn salad. I'll eat all the salads in front of you. You can keep eating your pizza every day. And they need a community like that has a stronger mindset. And you guys have that. It doesn't matter if you're on day 1 of your coaching journey or day 365 or day 1000. Like you have been here a week, a day, a week, a month ahead of someone else, and they need your story. But if you aren't out there telling that story on social media and you aren't planting that seed and inviting someone, you're not allowing them to make the decision for their life. I allow them to make the decision for their life. I ask at least 150 people a week to take a look at this business. Most people don't respond to me. The few that do, I get on the phone, I chat with them, and I sign up, like I said, 8 to 10 people. The phone is a really big thing. I'll give you guys the questions that I ask in case you ever want to do phone interviews. It's one of the things I think that is lost in the coach opportunity is that everybody hides behind a screen. I get people to sign up so much faster because of the phone. And the ones that don't sign up, oftentimes they come back a year later and they're just like, hey, we talked last year. Can I sign up now? Like there's no more questions. They're just ready. So questions that I ask them when I get on the phone with them is, what did you like best about the audio? What interests you? Why are you interested in moving forward this, scheduling the call with me essentially? On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 meaning you have no interest, 10 meaning you're ready to get started right now, where are you on that scale? Like I had a girl yesterday tell me she was a 5. I was like, okay, cool. I'm not going to push her. Can I send you more info? Let me send you more info. We don't need to continue. I'm not going to try to convince her if she's a 5. If she's a 10, I'm like, let's schedule a call. Let's schedule a sign-up call or enroll you right now. But if she's a 5, the only other question I'll ask her usually after that is, if you were to get started on a part-time basis, approximately how much would you need to earn to make it worth your time? I'm planting that seed that I'm going to help them earn money from day 1. And that's why I get on the phone, because it's a really easy question. if you were to get started part-time, how much money would you need to earn to make it worth your time? I want to know what their expectations are. And typically people tell me 500. And that's great because I can help them earn 500 pretty quickly too if they do the work, right? And so, and then I'll ask, how many hours do you think you could commit each week to building your business? How many hours do you think you could commit each week to building your business? So these are some of the qualifying questions I do on the phone. But back to the story, she said she was a 5. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to send you more information. I sent her the commission video from our coach office. And I sent her a website, like my website link, so she could take a look around to see what it is that she would be getting, her website. And then I sent her bulleted points of this business. And it was basically what was covered in the audio, but just in bulleted points so she could read through it. And she messaged me today, or she added me on Facebook. She told me she didn't have a Facebook, but she added me on Facebook, and I messaged her. I was like, girl, I'm so glad you connected with me. Because we were on Instagram. I was like, I'm so glad you connected with me. What did I say? She goes, I don't remember what she said. Like, I've been looking through your page. Like, I really need to get out of my job. Like, I really need a change. And I said, this is single-handedly the one decision that has changed my life. And she goes, I need that. And I said, what's stopping you? And now we scheduled a call and she's signing up tomorrow. But it's having the confidence to call people on their shit, honestly, to just say, like, the things that you think in your head, like, you know, this person needs it, tell your story. And it doesn't have to be a long drawn out story. In 2 sentences, what has this done to change your life? Because it's done something. You're on this call. It's done something. You know, for me, that $70 was life-changing. Knowing that I had a way to get out of a job and not have to be stuck working 40 hours a week for 40 years to barely make ends meet, to retire with 2 weeks a year. Like, even if I wasn't out of my job and I was 8 years in, I'd still be fighting to get out of my job. All in, like I am today. Because it was so much better to me than not having that hope of growing into something more. I wasn't growing in my job, and it's okay if you love your job and you're in corporate, that's great, but I didn't feel challenged and didn't feel like there was another level, and I knew there was so much more potential for me, and I love that I'm able to do that in this business. It's 30 minutes. My audio is 30 minutes. Do I follow up with people who don't respond? So typically what I do when I invite someone and say, have you ever considered, is I get their email address, or I have them fill out my little form that sends them emails. Now, guys, don't go create like forms and all that kind of stuff. In the beginning, I'd get their email address and I'd email them. And then I'd put them into an email list on Gmail, like a contact list. And once a month, I'd send a follow-up to all of them, like in a bulk. I don't know if you can do that anymore. I don't know how that works. But because I changed it over to like an email like campaign, so they get regular follow-ups from me. Every week they get like a motivational email about my story, about any objections I'm getting. I'll answer publicly on Facebook using my story, and then I'll send it in an email. It's an audio. The What is Coaching thing that I send is an audio, mostly because I didn't want a video that then linked to YouTube. The What is Coaching Zoom that we do for our team is a video. Yeah, Emmy, yeah. She said that all her coaches signed up from a sneak peek. Emmy, did you sign up from a sneak peek? Yeah. See?
Yep.
Yeah, so that is huge, because I didn't sign up from a sneak peek. I signed up from listening to a webinar. So the people that I tend to attract, I drop them in a group. They're all introverts. They're not even going to comment in the group. They're like, this is dumb. Give me the information and let me make the decision. And that's just different personalities. There's no right or wrong way about it. This business is really about connecting and having those conversations. Not allowing, if somebody tells you no or not right now or whatever it may be, or they're signing up as a discount coach, not allowing the expectations you have for them or what you think they should be doing to derail you from your goals and dreams. Like, you have to prove the concept and be out there even when people are giving up and not showing up. So for example, one of my friends, she signed up with me as a discount coach in 2013. She's a high-level engineer at Boeing. And she watched me build this business for 3 years as a discount coach, drinking her Shakeology every day. She even traveled with her Shakeology. Like, come on, girl. Like, that's dedication. And January 1st, 2016, she sent me a text message, and she said, I'm going all in. Tell me what to do. I need to get out of my job. By July, she had left her job at Boeing. She'd been there 10 years. High level 6-figure income earner. And you have to prove it. What if I waited because she wasn't growing her business and I allowed that to stop me? Or what if I waited because somebody told me no or didn't respond to me? Like, I knew, like, if you walk in, like, I thought of it this way, like, if you walk into a barbecue, and I just remember going into a barbecue and this popped in my head one day. We were at a friend's barbecue. There were about 100 people there. One of the ladies was a teacher, and she is a brand new teacher. She was telling everybody about her teaching job and how excited she was. And there were like 2 other teachers in the 100 people. And they were like, oh, they're connecting on their teachers' stuff and all that. It was really great. And I was like, none of the rest of us cared. The other 97 people didn't hate them because they were teachers. We don't want to be teachers, but that's okay. Like, we're still excited and happy for them. We're just not sharing in their excitement because we don't really care, right? That is you inviting. If you go invite 100 people, 97 are really like, I don't really care. But if you show up consistently and you prove the concept, they might, because then they might see this as a viable solution for them. But they have to see that through your struggles and you overcoming those struggles. Natalie, go live and share that. I share that kind of stuff. I shared it today, actually. That was like, I don't have objection. I start because I wanted more for my life. So I started. But you maybe, Natalie, another great thing with that is you probably watched her for a little bit. You didn't just all of a sudden find her, right? You maybe watched her for a little bit.
A couple of months, probably.
Yeah. So there are people that are watching you that you don't know are watching you, right? And I always think of it as you're showing up for them. You're sharing that story for them because one day you're going to share that struggle that you've overcome and how coaching has helped you change that part of your life. And they're going to be like, I need that, and reach out to you. And I will tell you, Natalie, because I am somebody that signed up right away, I do have more people that sign up right away. You're going to tend to attract the type of people that you are. If you took a year of watching someone, you're going to have to be really consistent. I mean, I'm still really consistent, but there are going to be people that are going to take a year to sign up with you more often than not because that was who you were. And those were the things that held you back. But think of those things that held you back. That's the story you need to tell. Like, if you were afraid to sign on because you're afraid of what other people thought, if you're afraid to become a coach because you didn't have a network, whatever story you told yourself of why it took you so long to sign up, go live and share that. Post on social media and share that.
Yeah, I literally told my upline, like, when we did our first call, I'm like, I'm never posting on social media, and I am not doing Instagram stories while I'll talk out loud. And I do all of those things now, but she never told me I had to. She said, do whatever you need to do to make it work. And I did it because I saw it was working for other people. So I feel like that a lot of people that I would connect with are introverts and don't want to do those things. And they think that I'm a pro at that, but I wasn't at all.
Right. So are you an introvert?
Yeah.
Oh, so talk about that more. That was something I realized recently for me that I'm an introvert. I need to talk about that more because posting on social, taking a selfie, that was so uncomfortable for me. Heck, messaging someone was so uncomfortable for me. I used to send like 40 messages, and every single one I hit send, my heart was just like palpitations. And then I'd run away from my computer hoping that they didn't respond. I didn't want them to see the message. So I need to get back to sharing that more because those are the things, like, your beginning story are the things that are going to relate so much more than your successes along the way. I can't share. If I shared what we earn, it's not relatable. People just look at it like, oh, that's not possible for me. That's why most of the time when I share my story, you will only ever hear me say $70, $80 or $800, $1,200 leaving my full-time job. That's relatable. But what I earn now, not relatable. And they'll just tell themselves that they can't do it.
Yeah, that's so true. I don't think of it that way, so I need to. Because I would post and then like hide my phone under my bed and just like not look at it until the morning just because I was just so nervous about it.
but now it doesn't make me as nervous as it used to. So that's good to like look back on.
Yeah, and share those wins, you guys. $200. If you earn $200, I hope you're sharing that. Those were the posts when I was like, I got a paycheck, $200. We were able to cover the dog's vet bill, like that people could relate to. That seemed doable. Earning $200 online seemed doable. And so often you don't share your parts of your journey because you think you need to get to my level before you share it. But my level is not relatable. Yeah, dog mom problems. Mine cost us $8,000 in December. I'm just glad she's okay because they told us she wasn't going to make it. I was like, whatever, throw all the money, double it, $16,000. They don't know. They could have charged me whatever and I would have paid it. But that was a story I shared. I shared it from the standpoint of this cost us, multiple grand when her sister was a baby and she had an autoimmune disease, bone disease. They wanted to do more testing and we were like, we don't have any more money. Like, we're done. We just started coaching. And so I shared that. Like, here's like, I worked hard so that right now, while my dog might not make it, I don't have to say, no, you can't do surgery. I can say, take all my money. True story. And share that, because that's just relatable. But a lot of you guys aren't sharing it because you think you have to be further before you do. Any other questions? Oh my gosh, I'm the same way. Big team of introverts, cancel plans to stay in and be alone with the dog. Share that stuff because lots of times I'm like, I'm so glad I work from home so I can just lay on the couch today and work from my computer because I don't want to see anybody. Because when you share those things, people are like, oh, she's normal. I feel the same way. I can do what she does. Oh, I get that. I've been at back-to-back events. I totally get that. My eyes are like not open right now. Any other questions?
If you guys think of anything like after, I'm sure I could always just forward them over to you, and if that's cool with you.
Yeah.
Because I know a lot of times, like once you let everything kind of soak in, then you're like, oh, like I wish I asked her that. So if anyone kind of thinks of anything after the fact.
So the one thing I'll say when reaching out to people, I said, have you ever considered, right? A lot of times the way I get into that conversation is, so for example, I'll do birthday messages and I'll say happy birthday, whatever, hope you have a great day. And someone will message me back and say, thank you so much for thinking of me. That was really sweet. I'm like, oh, of course. How are you? What do you do for work these days? I always go the work option, not like fitness. Like, what do you do for work? And then when they respond and tell me what they do, I'm like, oh my, so fun. How long have you been doing that? How long have you been doing that? And then once they tell me, if it's a long time, if it's like 7 or 8 years, oh, you must really love it, huh? A lot of times when I say, how long have you been doing that though? They will open up and be like, oh, for this long and I don't really like it and I'm looking for something more. I'm like, oh, great. Have you ever considered doing what I do? And then if they're like 7 years into it and I'm like, awesome, 7 years, that's incredible. You must really love it, huh? Like I just had a lady tell me that she's been in a job that she hates for 20 years. I'm like, seriously? You didn't do something about it earlier? Like 20 years, really? And so those are the questions I ask to open up conversations. But the questions I'm asking took me time to come up with, but are better questions than just like, I love your dog. Let's hope this goes somewhere.
I think that's so creepy too. Just like, your dog is cute. I mean, we used to do those things because that's what we were taught. But like, if you think about it more, like I would be like, well, why are you asking me about that? Or like, why do you care about that? Like, that's just weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's good to have a common ground, but It's
And
not conversational, like something that carries on for longer than thank you.
right.
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, so you're just going to sell me something, aren't you? And the thing I love about it is when I ask them about their job and then I say like, are you open? Have you ever considered, are you open to trying something new? Like, the thing that I like about it is I'm really going for no. I'm creating a conversation so that they know what I do. Because if they don't know what I do, here's an example. I had a girl the other day. I got into a conversation. What does she do? She's a cleaner and she has a second job and she's miserable, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, have you ever considered doing what I do? Like earning extra income from home in fitness? And she's like, can you really make money doing that? And I was like, oh my gosh, I failed. Not like, how does she not know? I failed at my messaging because she has no idea what I do. And we've been friends for 3 years. So that means that I didn't plant the seed early enough, or if I did, which I'm pretty sure I did, she didn't get it. So that is why I get in these conversations, not because I'm trying to get someone to say yes. I'm actually trying to get someone to say no. I want them to look at the information and know what I do so it's a seed planted. Because most people are struggling. They're struggling with their weight. They're struggling with their health. They're struggling with energy. They don't have personal development. They don't have a great attitude about life. They're stuck. They're miserable. And we have a solution. And if I don't plant that seed and go for no, they don't have the opportunity to say yes. Okay, that's it. That's all the nuggets I have.
Well, thank you so much. I know the chat's blowing up. Everyone's really loving this call. And we're just so appreciative at how open you are and willing to share these things that I'm sure you paid lots of money to go to these seminars and learn. So you're just so willing to share that with us. And I really feel like that's what makes you as great of a leader as you are, because you are so willing to share and you have a growth mentality and an abundant mentality. And I think that that's so important. Like there's enough out there for everyone. And you know, whoever is out there for you is out there for you. So thank you. I have like 2-3 pages of notes just from this one call. But the thing that's important about these calls is not just taking notes, but taking notes and implementing them. So I want to know, I'm going to take a picture. I'm going to take a picture, but I'm going to post a screenshot thing in the team page. And I want everyone to comment what's one thing that you're going to implement in your business this week or potentially next week if you are cruising in your business, or something maybe you guys want to do as a team, something that we can do that we learned tonight on the call. So I'll take the photo super quick and so you can go. I don't want to keep you any longer, but thank you so much. We appreciate you being here.
Yeah.
All right, ready? 1, 2, 3. As I'm like sitting in the darkness now, I just realized.
I would honestly challenge you guys to all go get into conversations and try to get 10 no's tonight. Like try. It's really hard if you actually go for no. People will not tell you no when you're going for it. But just keep following up. Like the girl today, I just kept saying like, do you want to listen to the audio? Do you want to listen to it? Like with every objection, I answered it. And then like, do you want to listen to it? Because if you go for no's, you're going to plant more of those seeds. And those rock stars are out there, but you have to open up those conversations if you're going to allow them to say yes.
Oh, great. Thank you again. We appreciate you being here. And I'm sure we'll see you on the cruise. We'll have to come over and say hi.
Yeah, I'll see you guys next week. And I'll see you tomorrow night.
Yeah, I will be on your call tomorrow at 7, same time, right?
Yeah.
All right. See you tomorrow.
Bye.
Bye. Good night.